Hi, friends. So I watched this movie on Netflix, Leave the World Behind. Julia Roberts stars in there, right? Even, is it not Costner, Kevin Bacon? He has a little short appearance in there. A couple of jabrones from the past, And it's essentially, okay, you remember Event 201, the COVID drill? It's just an event. We're just, game playing if this were to happen. And what's the game? Well, it's just a scenario, like a drill, that there's this coronavirus that's let loose on the world, and entire communities and countries are locked down. They're forced to wear masks. They're forced to get vaccines, and but it's just a little game theory. Wait a minute. Oh, then it happened. Well, those same people had another event, which I've talked about in the past. It's been a while. Another little pretend what if scenario event. And that is a global cyber attack that takes down the grid and stuff, the water supply. And lately, you might have heard a couple of times now, water facility got hacked. Well, you heard it a couple times now in recent history. And now the latest thing, a couple little headlines here and there about the cyber attacks. Oh, the Chinese, someone cyber attack. They could get in the municipalities and they can stuff the water and okay. So this movie, which was released 11/22. 22. Huh. That 22 number, that's interesting. November 22nd, this thing came out. Strange date, huh? And they talk about something about the winter solstice in there, which of course is December 21st in the movie. And then there's a scene where one of the cars they're driving, it has like a sticker on the window for something, doesn't say what it is, and it just says 12/22. So like, does that mean 12 December 2022, or does that mean December 22nd, 12/22? Since the movie came out 11/22, who knows exactly what's trying to be portrayed. But I thought that was interesting with the numerology. But again, it is literally the second Event 201 thing I just mentioned. Cyber attack takes down, the satellites are down, the internet's down, the phones are down. Electricity works in some places, at least for now. And, just planes are crashing because of the GPS is not working right into the ocean and right on shore. And the interesting thing about that, to be fair, the pilots would disengage autopilot. Okay, to be real with you, and they would hand fly the plane, VFR, visual flight reference. They don't need, the plane to fly itself with all of its, autopilot gizmos and gadgets that those things are loaded with. But again, the movie, and the funny thing is, again, right now there's a problem with pilots, shortage of pilots, and a lot of them are having heart problems. If you know what I'm saying, it's another thing, but. Again, read the news very, very recently, and they're talking all the cyber criminals. They're starting to see a little bit of a problem here with flying, where somehow hackers are messing with the GPS signal that planes receive and rely on to fly safely, with autopilot. This is actually news right now, what I just said. So everything that's being shown in the movie that was released 11/22, with a special emphasis on 12/22, again, winter solstice. And they mentioned, again, something, I forget what specifically they said, but there was something about it, I think, in the movie where they mentioned the winter solstice or something like that. And, there's, Kevin Bacon or whatever, he's a prepper. He was prepped, he's ready. That's kind of his role in the movie, but it's a very short one. And, I don't want to sit here and, give you the whole thing, but it was a interesting movie. And how long was the movie? almost 2 hours and 22 minutes. It was actually 2 hours and 21. Wink. Still got a 2-2 and then a 1, huh? Isn't that interesting? So I watched it, and it was a kind of a neat movie, like I as a movie goes, I was not let down or anything. Just real interesting. GPS is down, cell service is down, internet's down, nobody knows what's going on. Cars are piled up, everywhere, and now we're having all these little issues. Right as this movie's released, again, it's like it's their religion. They've got to put it in your face what they have planned. They have to. And I'm like, wait a minute, this takes place near New York and New Jersey, huh? Yeah, just outside the main city. And then they show a scene of the city and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going, my dream about New York City blackout, the Buffalo thing, which I think stands for Buffalo, New York, same dream. I get this download. This will be referred to as worse than 9/11 when this happens, whatever this is. Penny Kelly with her thing, the grid going down over there, and something to do with Niagara Falls power plant in that area. And I go, wait a minute, that's right where Buffalo, New York is. My dream about Buffalo, New York, or simply the buffalo that was in the dream, which was JC jousting with another buffalo. But I wonder what the hell is there a buffalo doing in my dream anyways? Buffalo, New York. What's over there? Close by anyways, Niagara Falls and that power plant. And I'm going, okay. And I remember when I was in that dream, it was a blackout. And I was like, I got to get out of the city. But I had water everywhere in the city. I found a John boat. I just stole it. It was sitting there. I grabbed it, took off. Got to a little island nearby, like another way around the city or whatever. And then I called the number like on the side of the boat. Hey, I got your boat. It's like a rental. I've got I don't know if I had a trailer or I got a trailer somehow. And I'll bring it back to you. And I'm bringing it back to the guy. And here's JC on a big ass hill jousting as a buffalo with another buffalo. King of the hill. What the hell? So, I just remember this will be referred to as worse than 9/11. So, maybe there's a little hint coming up here shortly in real life. And as a side note, just for fun, I had that electronic drum kit. It was a Roland TD30, I believe is what it was. But, it's got, the pads aren't quite like a real drum set. When you're hitting the whether it's the snare, the toms or whatever, they feel different. They respond different. The crash and the hi-hat and, all the cymbals, it's all rubber stuff, and you have a whole selection of different sounding drums, which is kind of neat, but it doesn't really feel good. Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel good on the whole. So, I ended up getting rid of that a while back and, thought, I got out of my system. I'm good. And then recently my daughter, Emily, Dad, I really want to learn how to play drums. I think I want to start playing drums. Huh? Yeah, I think I want to play drums. Do you think you can get me a drum set for Christmas? You want to learn how to play drums? Yeah. Well, maybe now's the time to get a nice acoustic, real drum set, a real kit. And then I started thinking to myself, Woo Doo told me a long time ago, Joe, not a long time ago, but about a year ago, Joe, you no longer have to dig into your inner jabroni. If you want to buy a dryer, don't buy a used dryer, buy a brand new dryer. If you need a washer, don't buy a used washer, just get a new washer. You don't have to dig into your inner jabroni anymore. I thought, it's just kind of a habit, I just never used to buying everything brand new all the time. It's not how I ever did anything. But I was thinking about this and I'm going, don't dig into your inner jabroni. Every drum set you've ever owned, which has only been a few in my entire life. First one, my dad used to do moving. He had his own moving company a long time ago. And every now and then he'd get an eviction call where we're dumping someone's stuff out, and if you come here and get it and move it out, we're not paying you anything, but obviously you can keep everything you're taking out of the apartment if you'd like. So my dad thought, it's certainly worth to go and check it out. So one time he goes over there and he got some like a duffel bag, like an army duffel. Oh, what the? An army duffel bag with a bunch of like, military clothes or whatever, someone's clothes. Of course, they were way too big for me as a kid, as a young teenager, but I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Oh, look at all this stuff. This is cool. But they had a drum set. My dad's like, I'm not, he goes to the sheriff, he goes, I can't dump that on the curb. Well, at this exact time, it becomes the public, so do what you want with it. So my dad's like, okay, takes it, loads up this drum set. I think I was in school, like I wasn't there with him. And so I get home and, hey, let me show you something. Go in your room, look at this, or wherever it was at. Maybe it was out in the living room at first. A drum set. He goes, yeah, I scored this thing for free. It was an eviction. Person wasn't there. They just dumped all their stuff out, and I got this drum set. I go, oh, like, cool. So my dad's like, I'll teach you how to play if you want. All right. So my dad taught me how to play. And I had it in my room for a while. Once, we live in an apartment, so of course I can only imagine what my neighbors were hearing now that I'm older, thinking, oh my God, what a nightmare that was. But I didn't play for real long anyways, so hopefully I didn't bother anybody too bad. Especially learning how to play, that's not exactly pleasing to the ears of other people until you figure it out and start sounding good. So, anyways, I had that drum set. I don't even know what kind it was. No idea. Maybe a old Ludwig or something. And got rid of that. And I ended up getting this other drum set. I don't remember what it was. It might have been a Pearl. But it was, these are like lower kind of entry level. I'm thinking, did I ever own like even a mid-tier drum set? And I'm thinking, if anything, it was probably that digital Roland TD30. That was a pretty nice one. Wasn't the top of the line, but it was, it was a nice one. And again, it's rubber. I need a real freaking drum set. Like nonsense out of here. So I'm sitting here going, DW. DW is the shit in drums. But they have, again, low end, mid-range, and like professional, the shit series. And I'm going, the mid one sounds pretty effing good. And it's, again, the low end one is priced pretty good. The mid-range one's a little higher than other mid-range ones, but it sounds pretty damn good. And then I hear the high-end one, which is the DW Collectors series. And I'm going, let me put on my headphones, man. God dang, that sounds good. How about those toms? Oh, damn, that sounds good. What is he running? Oh, DW Collector series. How much are those? Okay, yeah, all right. And I heard woo-woo dude in the back of my mind. Joe, you no longer have to dig into your inner jabroni. Usually there's the angel and the devil, like, on each shoulder telling you, go buy it. No, you should save your money. Just go buy it. But there was no response. It was just the sound of woo-woo dude. You no longer need to dig into your inner jabroni. And then I come across this article of somebody, it was actually a review of the drum set. And this person gives this nice big review, 5-star, whatever. He goes, but they've got, the drum material is made of usually, like mahogany's one of them, or oak or something or whatever. And they're maple. They have common ones is maple, and they sound good. But there was this one, and again, I'd have to stop the video to tell you what the hell it was called now. But it was like purple heart something, purple something. This weird wood. And the guy's like, listen, I've been a drummer for 25 years. I've played I wanted a real nice set. I've decided to pull the trigger on one of these nice sets because I wanted to get a nice set for once in my life. I'm thinking, yes, Dad, so do I. And he goes, but then I heard this purple, whatever the hell, this purple wood thing. He goes, oh my God, it's a little different, but man, it sounds, every sound I wanted, it's right there. So I'm going, oh, shit, they've got one over here at this store up in Maine. They're playing it. They're testing it. Let me press play. Headphones activated. Oh, my God. That is the sound that I like. That I'm with this guy. That is the sound. I love that sound. everything. Snare, the bass drum, the toms, all of it. So, I've done pulled the trigger. Emily's going to get a nice little drum set, and Papa's going to be playing it probably more than her. Okay? Thanks. Take care.